Hi, and welcome. In this video, we're discussing the use of social media, the good and the bad. We've invited a respected local member of our community, Andy Kinman, over to give his opinion of what we should do and what we should never do. So let's take a look. Welcome to our first interview show.
I am honored.
Honored.
Yep,
and
honored.
Scared.
And scared a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Well, I know we just met a little bit, but I'd
Right.
like for you to tell our audience a little bit about you. You wear so many hats. Explain a
Yeah.
little bit about who you are.
Oh, goodness. I am Andy, and a pastor at Bethel Baptist Church. But before that, I'm a husband and a father. My wife, Keely, we have been married for 19 years this year.
Wow.
We were high school sweethearts,
Aw.
and so we've been together for a long
long
years.
time, yeah.
So we've got two daughters, and they are one is a junior and one is a sophomore at Horseshoe Bend.
Awesome. Now you're a coach as well, right?
I am, yeah.
Okay. Now, is more than just football or just football?
My goodness, football, basketball, and I have coached or assisted in some way baseball for the last 4 years.
What is your general opinion of social media?
I think that social media is, it's kind of like a gun in the hands of a wise person, a responsible person. It can be very useful, but in the hands of a very irresponsible, reckless person, it can be dangerous.
Yeah. Are you very strategic in how you use social media?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Strategic in that I never want any of my social media to be negative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't want to get on there to discuss politics. I'm not going to get on there and discuss religion.
Right.
I'm just not going to do that. That's not the
Right.
place for it, because it's too open for interpretation. You know, sitting here talking to you, I can say something with a smile and you won't take it wrong.
Exactly.
Right? But
tone of voice.
sure, right. But if I type it, unless I put a little smiley face emoji,
Right.
you know, you have to really be careful.
Yeah.
Because you can offend, and I don't want to do that. You know, there's some things I will say in person that I'm not going to say on there, just because I don't want people to misread into what I'm trying to say. So if I say it on there, I'm really passionate about it,
Right.
or I'm just trying to be funny and make you
Right,
smile.
right.
I just want to be a blessing.
Right. Exactly.
So I guess strategic that way,
Right.
that I want to be able to make somebody smile, and or just think, but never to debate.
With the unappreciated pastor, the one that you shared about most new pastors think they're going to change the world, then they almost get fired for changing the bulletin.
Yeah.
So to me, it feels like you're clever, and you're still being honest with
Sure.
it too. Even
Yeah.
though it's kind of a joke, it probably is hard
Oh.
being a pastor and changing things in churches. I can imagine. Yeah.
And you know, the thing about that change, you know, in a church, it has to happen,
It does.
or the church dies. It was
Well,
good. but-
speaking about your church, it is on you put it on Facebook Live every Sunday
Yes.
now. So
Yeah.
how have they reacted to that?
Oh, they love it.
I bet so.
Yeah, they love it. I haven't had. There's been no kickback.
Wonderful.
All of it was very positive. We started out doing it with a phone.
Yeah.
You know, just testing it to see,
Right.
is it worth actually spending the money to get the equipment to do it
Right.
correctly. So we started out shooting it with a phone from the front row, and we got a good response from it. And we were getting probably 150 to 200 views,
Yeah.
which, you know, for a little country church with a
Yes.
small reach, I'm like, well, that's pretty good.
That
That's
is.
that's 150 to 200 people that are hearing the gospel.
Exactly. And I know a lot of people can't get out all the time, especially
Sure.
now. I mean, I know we have Alabama winter, but you know, sometimes the roads are not so great, or an older person that may
Sure.
not be feeling well. So it's great that they do have that access to them.
Yeah.
So I think that's great that y'all have embraced that.
Yeah. One good story about that is we have one of our elderly ladies is in assisted living, and so she has an iPad. and she is 89. I think she just turned 89 or 90. I'm sorry, Miss Melba, if you see this. But she has an iPad, and she's set up on Facebook. And so she keeps up with all the kids, and she comments on stuff. And so I showed her how to watch it. And so she's able to watch church.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah,
isn't that great?
We used to zoom it in to where it was just on me.
Yeah.
But then we backed it off. And so now she enjoys seeing to pick out who's there and who's not there.
Yeah.
So
isn't that wonderful?
It's been fun.
So what do your kids think about your social media use? Do they hate it? Are they embarrassed, or do they embrace it? Do they like it? I mean, your beard picture was pretty, I call it the beard picture, but it was pretty entertaining.
They ignore me. They don't think I'm funny anymore. But kind of like my wife, she used to laugh at my jokes, but she doesn't laugh at me anymore.
That's what Jeff complains about. He's like, you used to laugh. I'm like, we've been married 2 years. I don't think you're not that funny. I don't know.
No, sometimes like they'll appreciate stuff, especially if they may know where it's coming from.
Right.
You know, sometimes I just get frustrated about stuff, and I try to hold it in, and then, okay, I let the emotions go past, and I'm like, all right, God, give me something that's got wisdom and not emotion. And so I'll put something and they're like, good one, Dad. Yeah. You know, so they see it, you know, they see it. They don't always comment on it, but yeah, they ignore me mostly.
So how do you deal with them? Because I've heard through the grapevine you're pretty strict, or at least you used to be when they were younger, on their social media. So how do you deal with social media and your children?
We monitor it. You know,
That's great.
I mean, if they have it, we follow them.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
And if we see something that I don't think should be on there, we say take it down.
That's great.
And so far we haven't had an issue with that. You know, with some of the stuff, you know, at a certain age, I was like, you're not going to have boys, you know, on here. Sorry, if I catch it. And, you know, we would do random sweeps, just like, give me your phone.
Right.
And so we'd take the phone and we'd sweep it and we'd look and, you know, make sure. And there's been a few times we're like, give me your phone, it's mine. Told you not to do that. So, you know, and it's never been anything bad.
Right.
But, you know, it's just about letting them know that we're on this.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, man, because this day and age, my opinion is that parents are not on top of their kids enough. It's like, well, we want to give them their privacy. No, you don't have privacy. I'm like, you have a bathroom. That's private. You know, aside from that, you know, it's like you've got your time that you can have privacy, but this stuff, that's my phone that I let you borrow. And so you're not going to use it for something that I don't approve of. But no, we do. We sweep it. You know, we monitor that. We watch it. And if we think it's out of taste or anything like that, then we say you need to take that down.
Right.
So I think it's important. You know, we need to watch our kids.
Yeah. That reminds me of your post about the Life 360, the hack, I call it, but I thought it was so funny. I think it was a teenager that commented like, thanks a lot, because you told about how they can go to one place and I think it's turn off their data usage or something, and then it changes where they show up, which was hilarious to me, because it sounded like the kid took it well though, because they're like, oh, thanks a lot, you know, messing me up there.
And it was my daughter that told me they could do that.
Was it? Well, that's great.
I was like, well, okay, cool. My kid's telling me about this. So, okay, there's a little trust building there. There's a little trust building, but yeah, you know, there's parents out there that need to know that. Yeah.
Have you ever felt limited? Like you wanted to go and say something, or you wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know how many times I've typed something and then you just hit delete.
Yeah. Jeff is really, he monitors me, because I live life out loud. I mean, if I'm having a bad day, everybody's going to know about it. And he's really taught me how to, you know, to hold that stuff in. You know, it's not for everybody.
Right.
And so my social media usage has only gotten better because of him. But there's been times when I've just like, I used it as a tool to vent my frustration or whatever. And so I've learned now that some value in toning that emotion back and keeping it off Facebook.
Helps a lot in my case. I'm not going to say anything on Facebook or Twitter or whatever that I wouldn't say to your face.
Right.
Or from the pulpit. And so you're not going to catch me, you know, in a moment.
Yeah.
But it's like I said earlier, some things you can say that's taken the wrong way.
Right.
But I'm never going to say anything on there that I wouldn't say from the pulpit or in person. And so just the fact that I'm not going to hide and I am who I am, take it or leave it.
Right.
You know, some people don't like that, but some do. And
Yeah.
that's why we've had people come to church, you know, because
Right.
I'm not like a lot of them.
Yeah.
And some people frown on that, and that's all right. But a lot of people enjoy the fact that I'm an open book.
Right.
And just honest about it. So, yeah, anyway.
Well, I found your recent post about, I know you could think I'm a stalker, but it's because you were coming to this interview.
That's research. It's research.
Exactly. Thank you.
You're doing your homework. That's good.
Okay, good.
That's good interviewing.
Okay,
yeah.
good. Phew. But the recent one about abortion, I
Right.
thought, I did see you had a bit of comments, you know, going back and forth. It's like you opened a conversation, and we'll show it on the video.
Right.
But I really found your take on it so, well, one, refreshing,
Yeah.
and so just honest. It's just,
Yeah.
it's like, I feel like with social media, Christians feel the need to put it in your face.
Sure.
And I am a Christian, so I feel like I can talk about other Christians. Sometimes the religion is so in people's face, is constantly
Absolutely.
that their message is lost.
Yeah.
And did you get a lot of? Are you seeing any backlash from that?
No, I mean, you know, you can read the thread, and I, you know, I understand people that kind of maybe. I mean, you can read it. It's on Facebook.
Right,
you know, I mean, and like I said, I'm not going to debate or argue.
Right.
And that may have been one of my more debatable things that I post.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I'm not going to debate. Now, I left a lot of open-ended questions on there.
Right.
And really, it's for them to think and nothing else. But, you know.
One of your posts said, "Dear Christian," I want to read it out because I don't mess it up. "Dear Christian, if your social media isn't reflecting Christ, you need to delete it.
Yes.
Sincerely, me."
Yes.
What prompted that?
Just stuff. You know, just, you can't have fresh water and salt water coming out of your mouth at the same time. Right? You can't be proclaiming to be a Christian one minute, and then the next minute it's total nonsense and just, you know, it's so far from that. And it's just that hypocritical thing that drives so many people away, and it does way more harm than good.
Right.
And so I'm like, look, if you can't control your fingers, you need to take that thing away.
Right.
You know, if your eye causes you to sin, pluck it out.
Right.
If you can't control yourself, you don't need it. You know, it's like I said before, it's like a gun. It's dangerous in the wrong hands, and you're doing more harm than good. So that's, you know, it's one of those things. Like I said earlier, it's kind of like you want to respond very emotionally, but you give yourself a couple of days and calm down, and then you put something that is not as anger-filled.
What would you say is a good rule of thumb when using social media?
Read it, reread it, and read it again, and ask myself, is this done out of love? You know, will this make someone's day better? Is someone going to smile?
Like your wife in the trunk of the car. Was that your wife?
That was my wife.
Yeah,
in the trunk,
I said, I hope that's his wife. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that made us laugh. And this is how I even found out about you. So went to a family dinner, and everybody was talking about this. Did y'all see Andy's post? And I was like, who is Andy? What is this? And so, you know, get on. And so, but your post, your social media does make people laugh.
I just want to be a blessing, you know, and look, there's enough negativity in the world. I don't want to add to it.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to be that guy. I want to, you know, I hope that when I leave this world, I hope that people can look back and say I was a bright spot.
Right.
You know, if for one person, you know, then that's good. And, you know, I always tell people that you might not be able to directly change the world, but you can directly affect a person that will.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to talk with us about social media. And like I said, we're not stalkers. We just think you're funny. So thank you so much.
Thank you.